All right, so the next part, some of you are anxiously awaiting, are the bits and pieces that we have to offer concerning the poetry contest that we had for this Spring Fling. Again, we did it a little bit different this year in that we created an ekphrastic event, which also involved not just words, but pictures. So we started off with a bit of an artist's contest for calling out for different photos of different pictures, paintings, whatever, and then place the vote on that, choose that, and then opened it up to the poetry. So Sarah, as I understand, and do we have a picture of the winning picture? Do we have a photo of the winning picture that Sandra Nantias sent? Do we have that, Sarah?
Why, yes, we do. I will take it from here if that's okay.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Excellent. One moment, folks, as I get my share screen going. Okay. All right, can everyone see the screen all right?
Yes, we can see the spring. Yeah, it says Spring Fling Contest.
Perfect. All right. So yes, as Deborah mentioned, we did hold the contest in 2 phases. In the first, we did select out of some beautiful artwork, photographs that were submitted by members, any of them being worthy of inspiring really good poetry. We did select Sandra's beautiful photograph, which you're about to see, entitled Serenity. The piece was just so evocative. Here it is right here. And so just please stare adoringly at this photo as I go through some brief notes. The contest was open to members only. The winning poets receive a cash prize of $30 for first place, $20 for second place, and $10 for third. And the winning image and poem will be in our next ink to paper publication. I was honored to be the judge for that. All judging was blind. I only found out the names of the poetry winner after turning them into the board. Being a judge, as many of you have been for other contests, it is fun. It's also challenging because often you have far more poems that deserve prizes than you have actual prizes. And so my taste was my taste. These were all beautiful poems. Here were some of my preferences that made me select certain poems. The winning pieces all showed good technical mastery. I was drawn to poems that use specific details in the language without being overwrought. And the pieces that stayed with me were ones that evoked a mood or suggested a compelling story, the same way that this photograph did. So, third honorable mention goes to Beverly Stanislawski for the piece Quietude. Huzzah!
Yay!
Second honorable mention goes to Mary Couch for Serenity's Home. And first honorable mention goes to Janiqua Jameson for the poem Here. Beautiful jobs on those. And now we're to the third, second, and first places. If any of them are here, they may read their pieces. If not, I shall read it. So, in third place, Rachel Wright for Interval. I believe Rachel is here. Rachel, would you like to read your piece? I have it posted right here. Is Rachel still with us? Whoop. Oh, sorry. Special preview there. Okay, I'm not hearing from Rachel, so I'll go ahead and read that.
She's muted.
She's muted? Okay. Okay, I'll go ahead and read it, Rachel. It's a beautiful poem. Interval. Our love is a story. The girl who married the miner. He's not good enough, Grandma said to the storekeeper's daughter, born of grace and teacups. Our love is a barn. each board the skill of an artist, risky romps in golden hay, smell of manure and passion, a strange sifting incense. Our love is a pregnant wedding night, 9 months to the day, admonished by the aunt, quit running up and down the stairs, you've not a day to lose. Our love is a century tree, battered by nature, strangled with grapevines, exposed to wind and storm back in those days. Our love is 2 chairs, ordered from the catalog, brought to the farm after the war, smell of rust and flaky paint, faded red. Our love is a place, statue of the past, ode to children playing, monument to survival, vestige of time. Beautiful job, Rachel.
Thank you. I'm so happy. That's actually those are both true stories. I had a grandmother whose mother felt that the minor she was going to marry just wasn't good enough. So when I looked at that picture, it just reminded me of a couple stories in my family background. And the other one was my other grandmother, whose mother kept saying, now, Stella, quit running up and down the stairs. You don't have a day to lose. So when I saw the picture, it just reminded me of those things. I'm really excited. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank
Congratulations.
you. Yeah, it was a beautiful poem. And sorry that I gave a sneak preview, but awarding an excellent second place is Linda Eaton. And Linda, would you like to read your excellent poem recollection?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
You can now.
Oops. Wait a minute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Graham and Gramps sat here, shelling peas and snapping beans on warm summer afternoons, dressed in bibs and an aproned dress, discussing local agriculture. No abundant shade when Graham and Gramps sat here. A young mulberry tree granted minimal shade and had no embracing poison ivy vines. Icy sweet lemonade glasses left wet puddles on the table when Graham and Gramps sat here, hoping for a cooling breeze to soften the stifle of stillness. Now, weathered barn remains, once housing fruits of the fields, providing plenty of play spots. Graham and Gramps sat here, considering the future of the farm, never realizing the gift being created, memories glowing with fondness, learning to love the land, lived in simplicity. Graham and Gramps sat here.
Thank you, Linda. That was beautiful. And I loved that repeating line and how it traces down all the way to the bottom. That was very effective. And
Yes. I like doing that. I like doing it that way. I read about that particular style, and where you take the first line and then you put it in the second space and the third stanza it's in the third line and so on all the way down. But I could just imagine a grandma and grandpa sitting there, and I remember my in-laws helping me learn to garden, and they would come up and help us shell peas and snap beans years ago, and it made me think of them.
beautifully done.
Thank you.
And in first place, Gail Denham. I don't think I saw Gail here today. No, okay. So this is Mama's Voice. Buddy licked his hand where he scratched it into the splintery tree trunk. He settled into the V where 2 limbs came together. He could see the whole farm. He loved this place. All around, fall leaves told of winter coming. For now, this was his hidey hole, escape from everyone. Suddenly, Mama and their neighbor Mrs. Simmons came to the yard metal table below him. They dusted off the 2 old chairs, red paint flaking. There they placed a pot of tea and 2 old mugs, down and sat with their legs stretched out. probably the only rest either of them had enjoyed today. From Buddy's spot in the tree, he'd be able to hear the town gossip. Who was mad at who, or news of the bake sale. Buddy leaned hard against the tree, tucked his feet tight so they wouldn't see him. This was great. Buddy kinda wished Mama would tell Mrs. Simmons. She was proud that Buddy had helped Papa mend fences that morning, that his spelling grades were real good. But that was a dream. Mama never paid him much mind, other than to tell him to wash up. She kept so busy, Papa at least would pat his back after a job of work. Suddenly Mama spoke. Buddy thought he heard tears in her voice. I'm so proud of my Buddy. Ever last thing I ask him, he does it right prompt, never talks back. He's only 11, but he learned to drive the tractor already. Isn't that something? He's a real fine boy. Mrs. Simmons patted Mama's shoulder. I know, Essie. I see how polite your boy is. Buddy's insides turned over. He felt he might fall. He hugged the tree. For some reason, he had to wipe his eyes.
That's beautiful. Very, really pretty.
Wow.
Again, it
Powerful.
isn't that a great story? So I highly enjoyed reading all of the entries, and I hope to have the pleasure to read more in the future.
Sarah, you did a fantastic job as our premier poet and as a poet yourself, and just so thankful that you took this. And for those of you who participated in the program or in that contest, we'd be interested to know what your feedback is, since it's the very first time that we ran a contest that was solely electronic. You know, we're doing a lot of things trial by fire. If this whole process worked for you, if it didn't work for you, or if there's something else you would have liked to have known before you got into it, please share your information so that we can make this process better. And please give us some feedback on how that went. But congratulations to all of the winners. Congratulations to all the participants. Thank you for playing with us. I'm hoping that you enjoyed it. Thank you to Sandra, and thank you, Sarah.